Drive with Dan Michaels. Now heard throughout the region with 100,000 watts on 104.7 FM, 94.1 FM in the FM Metro, the KFGO mobile app, KFGO.com, and on the triple towers of power, the mighty 790 News Radio, KFGO.
The Mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO. Good afternoon. Welcome to The Drive. KFGO time is 4:11. I'm Dan Michaels, Paulie Lyons on the con, and Paul Juergens, our news director in the KFGO News Center. More news with Mr. Juergens in about 20 minutes from right now. Andy Griffith would have had a birthday today. Andy would have been, let's see, if my dad would have been 91, Andy would have been about 93, 94. Had he been alive today. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for being with us. Something wonderful is going on in our community. It's the annual Battle of the Badges to raise blood and to raise awareness for the American Red Cross. And joining us in our studio here this afternoon is Megan Steffer. Megan is Interim Executive Director of the American Red Cross for our part of the world. And Steve Dirksen is the Chief of the Fargo Fire Department, and they are both in our studio today. How are you guys?
We're doing well.
Great. Thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure to see you. Steve, you gave blood today, so I'm a little worried about you.
Do I look a little peaked?
You look a little peaked.
Yeah,
You're not going to drop
so
over.
I can't be responsible. Might have a little bit of lack of blood flow, so if I say anything crazy, that's where it comes from.
Here, that's good. You got your rolling tape over there, Paulie?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Tell the
good.
mayor, yeah.
Oh, gosh. Hey, Megan, before we jump in, you are listed as the Interim Executive Director of the American Red Cross. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? This is our first time meeting you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I've been with the Red Cross for about 14 years. I spent about 10 of those years working in disaster services. So came over, started fundraising about 3 years ago, and then took on this interim assignment in February. And, you know, this community has a place close to my heart. I actually had my very first disaster deployment here in 2009 for the floods.
Oh, sure.
So I've got a lot
Good
of memories
times.
here. Yeah, right. I'm very happy to be here when there are no sandbags in sight.
Yeah, absolutely, because those things are fun to make, aren't they? Those sandbags. Well, Megan, where are you from?
I am from Minneapolis.
Okay, great. Well, it's wonderful. And when I say that you are the Interim Executive Director for the American Red Cross for our area, what does that mean? Or this region?
We call it a chapter, so Eastern
Okay.
North Dakota, Northwestern Minnesota.
Okay. And they're going to take the interim off pretty soon? Or can you give us an update? What's happening?
We are searching for our next executive director, so if you know anybody, send them my way. The search is on.
I'm looking at her.
You know, I love this community, but right now my family would be very upset if I moved up to Fargo.
I got you. Disaster response was your first 10 years, so when something happened, you were on the scene.
I was, and my team. We have more than 90% of our workforce are volunteers, and in Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota, we have more than 1,000 disaster volunteers. So that's usually who you see on scene right away, but I absolutely put in my time as well on scenes all across the states.
Why? Why do you give of yourself for that?
It's the best mission in the world. Why wouldn't you? When you can make a difference, I'm there.
I love it. Thank you very much. Well, thanks for being with us. So it's Megan Steffer and Chief Steve Dirksen are in the studio today. So can you explain a little bit about the Battle of the Badges, you guys? What is this competition?
The competition is over the next 2 days that we're raising awareness for the need for blood products in our area. And the goal is that we raise that we have 30 donations today and 30 tomorrow from the community for use throughout the region, really.
Okay.
In blood products.
So people can come and give blood, and they pick a side, right? They say, I'm here because of the fire department. I'm here because of the police department.
Absolutely, yeah. We have a little friendly competition. Myself and Sergeant Jared Wagner are board members for the Red Cross chapter here, and we were challenged by Megan and a few of the other staff of could we do something like this, and we got together and we got Chief Zabalski involved as well, and we said, yeah, we can do a Battle of the Badges, and so we're competing against each other. You know, it's we're trying to gauge community support for police and fire. We know that our community supports both 100%. We're just great, but we want bragging rights on the fire side.
Of course.
And so we want to challenge the members of our community to step up and give for Team Fire.
So step up, give for Team Fire. We'd say the same thing for the police, but they didn't show up.
Yeah, they have, they're busy folks too, and things get in the way from time to time.
That's very diplomatic of you.
But really, in the grand scheme of things, Dan, the people that win in a competition like this are the people that need the products.
Absolutely.
And so, giving blood, wherever you're at. I mean, I know you have far-reaching tentacles with the KFGO.
Oh, yes.
And so, I mean, we're reaching out into western North Dakota and South Dakota and Minnesota. And wherever you're at, giving blood is just an important thing to do for our community, because when you're the person that's on the other end of that needing those blood products, it's really important that it's available.
Absolutely vital. Both Paulie and I have been very open about our medical experiences that we've had, and we couldn't have done any of the things we did without people donating product to us. So how do you go about doing it, Megan? The Battle of the Badges is on now. What do we do? If somebody's hearing this and they want to donate blood, and let's take it from the first time ever, because the people that have done it know what to do. But people who have never donated blood, what do they need to do now that they've heard Steve Dirksen say that?
Well, they should get on their computers and go to redcrossblood.org. There's a place where you can enter a sponsor code, and that code is Fargo Battle. Also, you can download the Red Cross Blood app. It's an amazing app, and I don't just say that because I work for the Red Cross. I don't know if you've got it, Chief, but you should. You can actually see where your donation goes. So first we look locally and see who might need that blood, but sometimes I see my blood donations go across the country to a patient in need when that's where it's needed the most. So sign up, go to redcrossblood.org, otherwise call 1-800-RED-CROSS. And we still have appointments open tonight.
Okay.
And a good handful of appointments open tomorrow, and the drive goes from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock both days.
And so you start off by going to the website, and they'll give you information on where to go.
Yep.
So when you are there, how long does it take? I hear you treat people really, really well.
Absolutely. There's no better place to give blood. I think Chief Dirksen had a great experience this morning.
Absolutely.
I think it took less than an hour. We usually say about 45 minutes to an hour from the moment you walk in the door till you leave.
Yep, I was in and out the door in about 45 minutes, and it was prolonged for a couple media things that we did along the way. Chief Zabalski and I had the opportunity to put a couple jabs towards each other, and there's that friendly competition that we have. But I mean, if you get registered ahead of time and do your homework a little bit ahead of time and on the app and answer the questions, it goes very quickly, and then it's just how fast you can bleed.
So is there a natural battle between police and fire?
There's always been that camaraderie, I will call it,
camaraderie
between police and fire.
Being very diplomatic.
And we love, as a fire guy, we love our law enforcement officers, and I know that they love us as well. And we know that in the thick of things, we all have each other's back. But we sure enjoy, from time to time, in my career anyway, we've had softball games, basketball games, flag football games, Battle of the Badges competitions.
Sure.
And
I remember the tug of war.
Yeah, we've done those before. And, it's just, it's two very, we're fortunate in both professions to work in a community where we're supported just so strongly by the community. And it's just fun to have some good-natured rivalry where we can play, but at the end of the day, people are going to win because of the notice that we're bringing to it.
Yep, that's very true. Megan, why is donating blood so important this time of year?
Well, we've seen really strong support for blood donation through this whole COVID-19 pandemic, but we have seen in recent months as things are starting to open back up again, and then compounded by the nice summer weather, we all want to get outside and not necessarily think about things like donating blood, but we typically see a very sharp decline in the summer months, and we're starting to see that again this year, especially after the holidays. So it's so important that you get out and donate.
And it's just because we're free. We're free. We don't have the regular schedule. We can go off on vacation, and we get out of our normal routine, and so that's why that affects that.
Totally.
How I heard donations hung in there pretty good during COVID, though.
They did. Yeah, usually in the summer months, what it used to be was that schools were out, and we collect a lot of blood in schools. Now, during COVID-19, that completely changed. Because everybody was going to school from home as well. So we really had to get creative and think about where we could even collect blood through that. But anytime we were there, we had a lot of changes. Our donors were super patient with us to come wherever we could run the blood drives. But I think everybody felt like they wanted to do something to help during all of this.
Yeah.
And we were really fortunate that when people thought of how they could help, they thought of the Red Cross and donating blood. And we're seeing now that regular life is coming back, so we want people to keep thinking about donating blood for those patients who need it.
Can you talk about the schedule tomorrow? What's going on with the Battle of the Badges tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. Up at the Red Cross headquarters from 1 o'clock till 7 o'clock, opportunities to donate will be taking place. So
it's right up on 12th Avenue North.
Yep, you got it.
12th Street North.
Excuse me, 12th Street North?
Just north of 25th Avenue North.
Just north of 25th Avenue. Just put it in your googly thing.
Yeah.
And it'll steer you right to the American Red Cross. So who's got better blood? The Fargo Fire Department or the Fargo Police Department? Who's got the better blood?
Well, on the fire side, we bleed red. I'm just saying.
So, Megan, you got police and fire, and we love them both dearly. I'd like to tease, of course, but we love them both, and where would we be without them both? It's fun to have them competing against each other for such a great cause. Is there any other groups, though, natural competitors out in the wild that you might be able to, like doctors versus nurses, or radio versus television? The TV weenies.
Do I see you throwing down a challenge right now? Is this our next competition?
Is there anybody out there
happening?
let me think. TV in town. Anybody who could challenge us? Well, maybe they could put somebody on top of somebody's shoulders. And they're very small people on television, so
let's make this happen.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in.
I hear
So
you
guys have the advantage. You have too tall.
But he's a reformed television guy
There
too.
you go.
Well, you guys, this is great. We love the Battle of the Badges. We love having this going on in our community. We look up to our fire department and our police department big time, and it's fun to see them taking a leadership role in working on something that is so important, like generating blood products at this really important time of year. If you've ever had anybody in your life or yourself, and that's a lot of us that have ever had a surgical procedure, undoubtedly, you've needed blood. So just think about that. Give the gift of life. Give some blood. Thanks so very much. Megan Stepper, who's the Interim Executive Director of the American Red Cross, and Chief Steve Dirksen of the Fargo Fire Department joining us today. Thanks, you guys, very much.
Hey, thanks for having us, Dan. And everyone in the community wins when we get back and support each other. So get out there and give blood.
You got it, and I'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Okay, KFGO time is 4:22. You're listening to The Drive on the Mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO.
You're listening to The Drive with Dan Michaels.
I guess I was going about 65 tops. 7 miles an hour.
On the Mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO.
You asked for it, so we brought it back again. Yes.